All right, hello there, Church Photographer Nation. It is an exciting day here in the studio for a number of reasons. Number one, because it's our first day in this new studio space that we set up. It's a work in progress, but it's exciting to have some space to create great content for you. And then second, it's a great day in the studio right now because we just got in a brand new load of gear that I want to show you because I think you're going to be excited about it. So that load of gear is the Nikon Z6 Filmmaker's kit. And you'll see everything that comes in it in just a second, but I want to tell you real quick why I decided to get this kit. I looked at all the different options, but if you've listened to our podcast, if you've watched my videos before, you know I'm a Nikon guy. I love Nikon. The first camera that I was ever put in my hands was a Nikon. And so I've just enjoyed using Nikon gear ever since that moment. But hey, you know what? If you're a Canon person, if you're a Sony person, Panasonic, Fuji, doesn't matter. You don't judge me, I won't judge you. Let's keep it at that. Anyway, I'm a Nikon guy, but then I also wanted to start to get into videos. My background is in stills, and so video is something new for me to explore. It takes a lot for me to be on camera right here in front of you. And so I wanted to go the mirrorless route because, hey, all my friends say mirrorless is great for video. And so this is going to be a slightly different unboxing than maybe some of the other ones you've seen. This is the complete newbies Z6 unboxing. So with that in mind, here we go. Let's get to the kit itself. This is what came in the mail just yesterday. Massive box. Tons of stuff in here, and I'm going to break this down and show you everything that comes with this and why you might want to consider this kit for your church if you are serious about exploring video. So here we go. Boom. Okay, so here is the kit in a nutshell unboxed. This is actually only one of two layers that come to this thing. So this huge box has so much packed into it that it's going to be like a wild ride to just go and break down everything that's in here. But I want to show you piece by piece what comes in this kit because it's really everything you need, with a couple exceptions, to get started with video if you are in the Nikon ecosystem. So very first thing, obviously, the Z6 body itself. Picking this thing up, man, it is dainty compared to my D750, particularly when I put a battery pack on it. I was like, man, I'm gonna drop this thing. But it is surprisingly solid as well. Very well built. It feels good in your hands. It's got a nice chunky hand grip here. I did take this thing for a test drive today at church and noticed that, I'm a big guy. I've got big hands, and kind of like pinky doesn't really grab on here right now too well. When they make a battery pack for this bad boy, I'm gonna pick it up and it'll get a little extra girth on there. But overall, I've had it on my camera strap, and it's way lighter than anything that I've used so far, so that's a plus as well. Notice that the Z6 comes with a new Z mount, so all of your lenses will need an adapter in order to use, but fortunately we'll get to that. It comes in the kit as well. Z mount, so unscrew this bad boy here. Looks gorgeous, huge mount. It's going to really open up some opportunities with lenses like the new Noct 0.95 aperture 58 millimeter, I think that's coming out. It's only a $7,000 lens, but it's going, I've seen some demo images and it's gorgeous. So if you want to send one of those our way, we will gladly test it out for you. But that's the Z6 body. A couple other features on the Z6 body. You've got the articulated screen like you have on other modern Nikon cameras. The downside was a downside. Something that took me a little bit to get used to was the electronic viewfinder that comes in mirrorless, but I'm kind of digging it, so I'm coming around to that. Other than that, you've got 3 user programmable modes here, and then all the other functions that you would expect on a Nikon body all right here. So that's the body. Also in the kit is the Nikon Nikkor 24-70 f4 lens, and so this isn't going to be your fastest lens, but this is a Z mount lens, so it works right out of the box with the Z6 body. Plug that bad boy in. The cool thing about the mirrorless Nikon is that it's got 5-axis stabilization, so not only do you get your lens stabilization with some of the other lenses that you might have, you're also getting a couple of extra axes of stabilization with the body itself. The 24-70 f4, I've played with it a little bit. Good sharp lens. I've enjoyed using it. I'm going to probably use this primarily for video as I'm shooting. If I just want to use the native Z mount lens. So that's the body and lens combo. Also in the kit, if you have existing Nikon glass, and this was the main reason I wanted to stick with Nikon, is because I've got a bunch of glass over here that is very expensive, more expensive than your bodies, as you know if you've purchased glass. This is the F2z Mount Adapter. So basically this will clip onto the Z mount on the camera, let you adapt your F mount lenses. I'm a Tamron guy when it comes to third-party lenses. I think the Tamron 70-200 2.8 is a beautiful sharp lens. I also have their 15-30 2.8. Tamron just released a firmware update. I just plugged in my tap-in console, popped it into my computer, and now it is compatible fully with the Z6. I've used it all weekend. You'll see test footage at the end of this video. Moving on in the box, we've got a couple of perks here. We got some film school for Nikon. We've got a year of Vimeo Pro, so that's a nice perk if you don't already have that. 2 of the new model batteries that come with Nikon cameras, so they're the exact same shape as the batteries that you already have if you're using the the D750 like I am. But they also last a little longer, so it's a new format for that. 2 batteries, because 2 is better than 1, and if you have shot for any length of time, you know batteries are like gold. So that is a nice perk as well. Now to some of the non-camera equipment that comes in this kit. We've got here a Rode Videomic Pro. And so I have not really messed with audio yet. Again, remember, this is the complete newbie's guide to the Z6 Filmmaker's kit. I'm eager to slap this thing on my camera and see what I can get out of it in terms of audio quality and learn to use that. Also, all the cables, charging, and connection that you need comes with that. This bad boy right here. So this is something I'm excited about. This is the Atomos Ninja 5. This is an external recorder. Very soon, Nikon will be releasing some firmware updates that lets you do Apple ProRes RAW out of your HDMI. This will take that HDMI signal, record it, not even having to use your internal memory card. You can get much higher quality video out of this. And once we get to the surprise kicker at the end of this presentation, you'll see why this monitor is going to be super important. Yeah, so we'll dig that out in just a moment as well. Okay, this is layer 1. Let's get to layer 2 of this kit. Boom. All right, here's layer 2. This comes underneath everything that you just saw in this kit. This is the Moza Air 2 gimbal. And if you don't know what a gimbal is, it's like you watch those videos and the camera's moving super smooth and you wonder, how did somebody do that handheld? They didn't. They used likely a gimbal such as this. This is one of the top of the line gimbals on the market. Rivals the Ronin S, depending on whose YouTube videos you watch. I have had this out as well, and I've played with it a little bit just around the house. Can't wait to use this to film in the church setting as well. So I've actually already unpacked this bad boy, so you can get a load of the Moza Air 2. Very, pretty standard features for a professional grade gimbal. You throw your camera on here, you balance it up. It's got all your basic follow modes, so you can control the gimbal and the position of your camera from the joystick on the mount. It's got a trigger, you can record, you can change also the ISO, the shutter speed, and the aperture of your camera directly from the thumb switch here, which is really, really nice. And then it's got a couple special modes that if you want to dig in, you can watch some of the tutorials on the Moza Air. It's pretty incredible. Yeah, so that's the basics of the kit. I got 2 more things I want to show you. One, I want to dig into that Atomos Ninja 5 just a little bit, and then we've got some demo stills and footage from some baptisms we did at our church this weekend that I'm eager to show you. So let's take just a moment. We'll dig into the Atomos Ninja 5. Bow. All right, Atomos Ninja 5. This is the external recorder that I mentioned previously. We're going to dig into this bad boy just so you can see how gorgeous this is. Huge 5-inch screen. This will also attach with the arms that you might have seen included in that kit earlier. This will attach straight to your gimbal, and so as you are recording, you can have a nice beefy screen to monitor your video with and see very clearly what you're doing as you're manipulating your gimbal. Also in this box, if we dig through the layers, we've got the quick start guide. Always follow your quick start guide if you don't know what you're doing. And then if we dig just a little deeper, we get power here. But then we also get this little piece of equipment here, which is important to note because if you are considering this kit, there's a couple of things that the kit does not come with that you should probably plan for. And this was my biggest stressor as I went through ordering this kit and piecing it together. So this is the hard drive caddy. This recorder does not come with any storage, so you need an external SSD hard drive. There's a list of compatible devices on the Atomos website, but this hard drive, if you get I got a WD brand. It's one of the cheaper brands because I'm just starting out. I don't need a whole lot of fancy equipment. He says as he unboxes the big box of fancy equipment. This one set me back $100. If you get like a SanDisk Extreme Pro, might set you back $150. But this is a terabyte drive. This will hold plenty of video. Also, speaking of things that does not come in the kit, and speaking of storage, one more thing that does not come in the kit is this right here. This is not an SD card, so this camera does not record to SD, it records to XQD. There are only like 3 brands out there. The top of the line is Sony, from what I can tell. I could not find a Sony XQD card anywhere except for like a small storage capacity. And since this only has 1 slot, I wanted to get a nice beefy card. I would have filled up my card if I was shooting with a 64 gig earlier today. And so this is the 120 gigabyte Delkin brand XQD card, but this bad boy sent me back 120 or almost $200. So this does not come with a camera. Plan for an XQD card as well. But you know, since that storage is expensive, having the recorder when I'm shooting video and having a cheaper storage solution such as the SSD will make life so much easier. What else is missing? Batteries. So basically, if you want to power this thing on the go, the Atomos Ninja 5 does not have batteries either, so you would have to pick up a battery kit. I picked up one on just some off-brand Sony NFP style batteries off of Amazon, $35. They're cheapies, but they will do me for now. But that's another thing that would not come in the kit. Also, one last thing that will not come in the kit is an XQD card reader. Set you back another $35 if you don't already have one. Though you can, using the included USB A to C cable, you can pull photos straight off of the camera and use your camera as your reader if you want to. I was actually doing that earlier today through my phone. I've got the Lightning to USB adapter, plug USB to camera, and I'm able to just pull all the images off my camera, edit on the go, get them to our social media team so that they can post those as well. All right, so here's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna show you some demo footage and some demo stills from this camera from this weekend. I was super impressed with how sharp these images were and some of the features that we got out of video. Let's take a look. All right, first, weren't those moments incredible? And then second, wasn't that footage amazing? Weren't those stills awesome? Again, as a Nikon guy, I am in love with this body. I almost thought about giving out my D750, which I'm recording on now, but then I looked at the resale price and it's pretty much not a whole lot. So I'm going to keep it as a second body, shoot as a second camera, and then let this bad boy be my #1 camera, I think, going forward. Stills, video, doesn't matter. One last thing to point out, you might ask, hey Rob, why did you get the Z6 instead of the Z7? The Z7 doesn't have a better resolution, better features. Here's why. One, it's more expensive. But two, I bought this body primarily for video, and the Z6 has one big advantage over the Z7, maybe two. The first one is that the resolution on your sensor is actually native 4K resolution, and so if you're going to film video with the D7 with a much higher resolution, it's either doing a crop mode or kind of squeeze those pixels down. So the Z6 actually has slightly better video quality, or so I hear. The other thing about the Z6 is that it has a much higher ISO range as well, so it's going to be better in low light, and a faster shooting speed. So I was pulling 12 frames a second shooting baptisms out of this thing earlier, and it was like incredible. I'm used to 6 or 7 on my D750, and so I'm able to get those moments that that exact moment when they're going under the water and the baptism with this body, and I was super duper impressed. All right, so that's all we've got time for today. If you are interested in picking up this kit, you can find it on Amazon. You can find it on B&H, Adorama. I bought mine from Adorama. Secret tip, as of the time that I'm recording this, it came with an extra F2z adapter, so I've got 2 of those should I want to pick up another body or sell that back to pay for some of the extra gear I had to get. And if you're watching this shortly after it came out, Adorama currently has a Nikon sale going on where you can get that this whole kit $300 off. This kit is $36.95 right now at that retailer and probably most of the other retailers as well. So go out. If you're considering investing in video for your church, if you are in the Nikon ecosystem, I would highly recommend the Z6 Filmmakers kit. Until next time, this is churchphotographers.com.